quiet corridors of an abandoned educational building often hold a heavy stillness long after regular hours have ceased completely. Angel Martinez was documenting the structural neglect inside the dark facility, narrating the empty rooms for a personal TikTok video intended to highlight how badly the campus had faded. As he slowly focuses his lens across the cluttered concrete floor toward a plastic chair, he has no idea that the furniture itself is about to deliver a terrifying response. Let's take a look.
Está un poco descuidada porque aquí han guardado las cosas que el colegio antes usaba. Escuché algo, pero no sé qué fue. Bueno, fue la 100 puta. Uy, fue la 100 puta. No joda. Ojalá que lo haya grabado. Ojalá que lo haya grabado.
During the moments, Angel Martinez spoke about the dilapidated state of the classroom. A white plastic seat slid backward across the concrete floor without warning. The sudden rupture instantly cuts off his speech, plunging the room into absolute silence as the camera remains locked onto the target. Most people would assume this is just an uneven floor or a stray breeze, until you notice the object slide a second time with deliberate force. Whatever unseen energy occupied that dark corner waited for him to finish his sentence before asserting its presence. Did that white chair really shift across the classroom on its own? Or is this a cleverly manufactured hoax?
Escuché algo, pero no sé qué fue. Bueno, fue la 100 puta. Uy.
The sunlit corners of an ordinary apartment bedroom often feel entirely secure and peaceful during the middle of a typical day. Hoping to capture proof of strange occurrences for a YouTube video, Lisa propped her recording device against the pillows while resting quietly. The indoor environment seemed completely calm, sealed away from the outside world, and lacking any hint of immediate disruption. As she speaks softly from beneath her blanket, she has no idea that her surroundings are about to offer a terrifying demonstration. Watch this.
We are here now to observe paranormal activities. Apparently, at the moment, oh, there we go. It started. As you can see, the window is closed. The door is also closed, even though there is no door. And now, still, we're observing unnatural movements. Oh my God.
Right, as Lisa finishes her sentence, the vacant green office seat rotates violently to the left on its swivel base. This unmistakable poltergeist activity prompts her to pan across the bedroom, showing a locked window pane to confirm her isolation. Most people would assume a draft caused the furniture to spin. However, a light breeze cannot explain the subsequent escalation when the frame abruptly slides backward with immense momentum. This aggressive presence waited for her to settle back into bed before demonstrating raw power. Lisa gasps out loud as the invisible force asserts total dominance. Did that desk chair really wheel itself across the floor, or was this a manufactured illusion?
Unnatural movements.
Mundane activities inside a domestic kitchen provide the perfect setting for a sudden physical disturbance that leaves no room for debate. Jessie Chico was recording a late-night walkthrough inside the old residential property, pointing her camera toward the open kitchen appliances. As she pans across the dark counters and empty room layout, she has no idea that the mechanical structures in front of her are about to react with violent force. Take a look.
He left the fridge open. Holy shit. Oh my God. The fuck? What's going on? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Positioned directly near the dark hallway entrance, Jessie Chico froze as the heavy refrigerator door swung completely shut and latched closed with deliberate speed. This initial poltergeist activity is followed by an oppressive stillness before the upper cabinet doors swing wide open on their hinges. Most people would assume this is just an uneven floor. However, the mechanical panels open fully before an object is
Oh my
violently
God.
expelled from the shelf onto the counter below. This aggressive display highlights a calculated presence acting within the home, responding directly after Jesse Chico called out into the room. Did those cabinet doors really slam open on their own? Or is this a cleverly staged trick?
Left the fridge open.
A heavily shadowed living room during the deep hours of the night can easily amplify the unsettling feeling of being completely watched. Maddie was documenting the heavy atmosphere inside his residence for a TikTok video, driven by a strange disturbance that had unfolded just moments before he initiated the recording. As he stands in the dark, casting his voice out into the quiet interior with an aggressive challenge, he has no idea that the room itself is about to deliver a violent response. Watch carefully.
Bro. Move it again, motherfucker. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. In the name of Jesus, I banish you back to where you've come from. I banish you back to wherever the fuck you came from. This is not your fucking house, motherfucker.
The instant Maddie finished demanding a sign, the glass fireplace door swung open as a heavy wooden log simultaneously shot backward out of its metal holder onto the floor. This aggressive poltergeist activity directly answered his verbal taunt, proving the invisible presence was actively listening to his voice. While most people would assume a stray draft from moving panels, it cannot rationalize a solid piece of timber being violently thrown across the room. The terrifying calculation of this intelligent entity targets his safety, leaving him to loudly banish the unseen force in total panic. Did that object really fly out of the hearth on its own? Or is this a manufactured trick?
Move it again, motherfucker.
A sunlit hallway on an unremarkable afternoon provides the backdrop for a domestic scene that asks nothing of anyone. Tara kept her TikTok recording running while speaking casually inside the house, completely unaware of the tense atmosphere growing right outside the threshold. As she continues to talk near the open closet space, she has no idea that the bedroom entryway directly in front of her is about to undergo a spine-chilling transformation. Watch this.
Whoa. He slammed it that time, huh?
Oh, I'm scared, Grandma.
There's nothing to be scared of. Grandma's right here. There's nothing to be scared of. Okay?
Okay.
Why don't you go in there and pick up those toys? My goodness, look at all of them.
I'm scared, Grandma.
Good. 10 more seconds. Up. Stay over here, Callie.
Oh.
What?
Locking her gaze in absolute silence at the carpeted corner, Tara watched as the bedroom panel swung shut and latched securely with sudden momentum. This initial kinetic disturbance is followed by an oppressive stillness before the entryway slowly unlatches itself and glides wide open once more. While a camera glitch could rationalize basic visual errors, it cannot explain the heavy barrier physically swinging back and forth multiple times against its hinges. Tara tries to comfort her frightened little niece, highlighting the terrifying contrast between this unseen energy and the child's vulnerability. Could the force behind that wooden structure really have been intelligent, or was someone pulling it from behind? Tell me your thoughts.
Stay over here, Callie.
The view from a high-rise apartment during the late hours of the night usually offers a peaceful perspective of a sleeping neighborhood. Diego stood near the open ledge of his room to capture the routine traffic, casually chatting with his girlfriend while keeping his TikTok application running to document the ordinary scene. As he sweeps his phone lens across the dark concrete lane below, he has no idea that an object directly within his line of sight is about to deliver a terrifying response. Watch carefully.
Te lo juro que esa muñeca no estaba mirando hacia acá, mira. ¿Ves que parece como si nos estuviera mirando? Qué horror. Amor, amor, parpadeó. Te lo juro que parpadeó.
While looking past the metal railing toward the brightly lit storefront display across the road, Diego focused his attention on a group of plastic children's models standing near the entrance. The terrifying moment occurs when a replica doll dressed in a blue gown distinctly blinks both eyelids while the lens zooms closer. Most people would assume this is just a lighting glitch until you notice the organic movement of the synthetic face responding after the creator alerts his companion out loud. This economic intelligent entity chose that precise second to reveal its awareness, proving the object wasn't an inanimate toy. Did that mannequin actually close its eyes on camera? Or was it a manufactured hoax?
¿Ves que parece como si nos estuviera mirando? Qué horror. Amor, amor.
If you love the thrill of the unknown, subscribe for more spine-chilling content just like this. There's more to see, so let's get back to the clips. The heavy stillness of an industrial studio building after midnight often amplifies the smallest ambient sounds into something deeply unsettling. Working completely alone on a late-night project for his YouTube channel, The Oslaskins, a filmmaker decided to document the premises after experiencing a terrifying physical sensation against his shoulder inside the restroom stall. As he guides his lens back toward that exact dark corridor to investigate, he has no idea that the empty structure is about to validate his deepest fears. Watch this.
So it's about 2 o'clock in the morning. I've been working in the studio, and the last couple of nights I've been hearing really creepy sounds. I've been hearing footsteps and like seeing things out of the corner of my eye. Now this is a really big old building, and so that's got me a little bit freaked out. But the top of it was just a few minutes ago, I was going to the bathroom and I was standing in the stall, and I swear someone grabbed the back of my shoulder while I was standing there, and I freaked out. So if something happens, I want to have it on video. I think that was open. Pictures scared the hell out of me. So this is where I was. I was standing right there. And the lights aren't working in the bathrooms, of course. Hello? Hello? Shit. Alright, I think I'm done. I think I've had about enough for today.
Standing right outside the threshold of the concrete restroom, the investigator watched as a heavy stall partition violently slammed shut on its own. While a draft could excuse moving wood, it cannot explain the terrifying sequence that followed when he returned to the hallway. A pale face appeared from the edge of the downward stairwell, peering intently at eye level despite the absolute absence of any landing beneath it, suggesting a floating intelligent entity. This aggressive poltergeist activity escalated with consecutive door impacts, responding directly to his voice before forcing him to flee. Did that hovering figure actually manifest over the dark steps? Or is this a manufactured illusion? The familiar comfort of a personal bedroom can instantly dissolve when collectible items begin exhibiting independent physical motion deep into the night. Luke had been recording a quiet overview of his dresser setup for a TikTok video, hoping to investigate why his private quarters were repeatedly found in total disarray over the past week. As he balances his closed security device near the wall ornaments to monitor the room, he has no idea that a replica doll is about to deliver a terrifying presentation. Let's watch. Positioned right against the wooden shelf, the replica structure began lifting and lowering its arm multiple times before tumbling forward onto the bedroom floor. This distinct poltergeist behavior occurred while Luke was entirely out of the frame, forcing even his domestic cat to scale the drawer to inspect the targeted item. Most people would assume an animal upset the layout. However, the rhythmic limb motion happens independently long before the object collapses. This intelligent haunt directly targets his private space, leaving behind an undeniable trail of physical distress that defies any logical household explanation. Did that collector item really move its limb without human touch, or is this a manufactured trick? The stark fluorescent lighting of a quiet kitchen at night can make any ordinary household chore feel strangely exposed. Jorge was washing dishes while recording a personal TikTok video to update his followers about the unsettling disembodied voices he had been hearing around his solitary home lately. As he continues explaining his sleepless nights near the running sink faucet, he has no idea that a sudden movement in the dark hallway directly behind him is about to cut his story short. Watch carefully.
So y'all, so the reason I want to make this video is because I have been dealing with a lot. I want to give you guys an update, but I have been dealing with a lot of whining at nighttime. Now, there's one thing that I have been very concerned, and I don't know if it's normal or not. And I want you guys to drop it on the comments and let me know if it's something that that you think it's normal. But at nighttime, for some reason, I have been like. Supposedly, my ex-wife, Elizabeth, supposedly she's been calling me at nighttime. But like literally inside of my house. And I have, like when I wake up at nighttime, I hear that my daughter, Amora, is like on my office. And then I check, but there's literally nobody in my house. Now, I don't know if when I go to sleep, if this is sleep paralysis, or I'm not sure if it's I'm not sure what it is or what could have caused this, or if I'm actually sleep. Like it's very hard for me to explain, but it almost feels like I'm having a dream, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So, but I want you guys to drop it on the comments. Oh shit! Holy fuck! Guys, tell me that sounded like my bathroom. tell me I'm not fucking going crazy. Am I fucking going insane or what, eh? You see? This is why I hate I really hate this shit.
Facing the kitchen counter with his back turned, Jorge was interrupted when a dark silhouette flitted across the rear hallway just as the restroom door slammed shut with incredible velocity. This terrifying kinetic disturbance happened mere seconds after he explicitly described hearing his ex-wife's voice inside the empty house. Most people would assume a simple draft caused the wooden panel to move. However, a stray breeze cannot explain the heavy impact matching the visual shape. This aggressive manifestation directly targeted his isolation, proving that whatever occupied the residential property was actively tracking his movements and listening to his conversation. Did that restroom entryway really close on its own? Or is this a cleverly staged trick?
That makes sense. You know what I mean? So, but I want you guys to drop it on the comment. Oh, shit!
Sealed spaces within a personal bedroom can suddenly feel fragile when the structures around you refuse to stay at rest. A TikTok user was trying to settle in for the night, pointing her lens toward the closet paneling while explaining that the heavy frame had already shifted once before she even began recording. As she rests against her pillows waiting to see if it occurs again, she has no idea that the barrier is about to deliver a chilling response. Take a look.
Well, the door opened up a few minutes ago, so while I was laying down, so we're gonna see if it's gonna open again. I closed it and got back in the bed, and hopefully it is shut for tonight. I just end up getting out my bed a minute ago and shutting it, so let's see. There you go. Looky. I'm in my bed. And there she goes. So I'm going to have to end up putting a towel in it, or she's going to keep opening it up all night. But I'm in my bed, as you can see. It opened up again by itself.
Resting entirely motionless beneath the blankets, the woman watched as the white wooden bifold door glided open on its tracks, creating a dark gap into the closet space. She explicitly noted that the structure had moved on its own just minutes prior, suggesting a persistent energy was active in the room. Skeptics might blame an unlevel floor or a draft from the vent. However, the sliding mechanism requires continuous force to fold backwards so smoothly. This poltergeist activity targets her private sanctuary, leaving her to contemplate blocking it manually just to get through the evening. Did that closet panel really slide backward without anyone touching it? Or is this a manufactured illusion?
Bed. And there she goes.
A crowded dance floor filled with loud music and flashing neon lights creates a vibrant backdrop for a typical weekend celebration among close companions. The content creators known as Blurred Blondes decided to document their night out together, gathering tightly to capture a series of cheerful video clips intended for their TikTok account. As the handheld lens glides across their smiling faces, they have no idea that the darkness directly behind them is about to expose a completely frozen pale face. Watch carefully. While the young women are huddled together laughing and posing for the phone lens, a starkly white humanoid form with completely vacant features materializes in the background directly behind them. This terrifying presentation is a clear instance of an apparition tracking the living. Most people would assume this is just a regular clubgoer passing through the dim space. However, the absolute absence of any realistic expression or movement makes a normal explanation impossible. The entity stands entirely motionless, observing the oblivious friends as they celebrate, highlighting a dreadful contrast with their joyful ignorance. Did that pale face actually watch the Blurred Blondes creators from the dark, or was it a manufactured trick? The deep stillness of an ordinary residential property after midnight can quickly transform any simple household sound into something deeply unsettling. Josh had been navigating his dark kitchen corridors with a mobile camera active on TikTok, hoping to capture proof of the strange scratching noises echoing through the hallways. As he guides his first-person lens past the bright bathroom threshold directly toward a pitch-black doorway, he has no idea that the silent bedroom itself is about to deliver a chilling response. Look closely.
Okay. I keep hearing shit up here. Is anybody else home besides me? There's definitely what's coming from up here. I left it on, so that's okay. Not again. I don't want to deal with this. I do not want to deal with this. No, not again. Not again, not again, not again, not again. Not again, not again, not again, not again.
Just as Josh steps away from the illuminated bathroom floor, an entirely obsidian silhouette manifests inside the bedroom shadows, standing perfectly unmovable. This terrifying apparition remains fixed in the gloom, staring directly at the lens while the creator mutters his deep regret out loud. Most people would assume this is just hanging clothing, until he retreats and returns to find the figure has completely vanished. That represents an intelligent entity playing a calculated game of tactical evasion. The horror lies in knowing Josh was entirely oblivious to the threat until he crossed the cramped threshold. Did that obscure form actually watch him from the darkness, or is this a cleverly manufactured illusion? A dimly lit storage room during a quiet afternoon can quickly become an oppressive environment when left entirely unattended. Brian was setting up a casual video for his YouTube channel, talking directly to his camera while waiting patiently for a friend to arrive at the house. As he records his own face near the open doorway, he has no idea that the cluttered household items stacked right in front of him are about to deliver a terrifying response. See what happens next.
Bueno, hola jugadores, hoy estamos aquí en otro video. Como saben, yo soy Will Gamer. Estoy esperando a Brian Gamer en su casa. Mierda, se movió la caja. Me estoy asustando. Puta madre. La pala ahora. La caja estaba más acá y la pala se cayó allá. Puta madre. Ahora espero que no se mueva la bicicleta. No, se mueve la bicicleta. No, se mueve. No, se mueve. La caja de vuelta. No. Me estoy asustando, en serio. La puerta, vamos a cerrarla porque si no se va a enojar mucho Brian Gamer. Vamos a dejarla ahí. Vamos a dejarla ahí. Puta madre. Aquí termina el video, nos vemos en el próximo video.
As the young creator murmured his dread into the lens, a cardboard container on the floor slid sideways. A heavy metal tool then crashed downward, followed by the bicycle handlebar twisting independently before the box jolted twice more. Most people would assume a stray breeze displaced these pieces. However, a draft cannot cause multiple distinct things to tip over sequentially. This aggressive poltergeist activity directly targeted his presence, accelerating its relentless tracking just as Brian tried to escape. The unseen entity left him entirely cornered before a final object dropped from above. Did those storage items truly shift across the room on their own, or is this a manufactured hoax?
La caja de vuelta.
A quiet suburban driveway enveloped by the crisp stillness of early morning often feels completely isolated from the rest of the world. After her father passed away, Lisa shared a security camera clip on TikTok showing her husband stepping outside at dawn to head for work, completely unaware of any lingering presence. As the man walks across the brightly illuminated concrete path toward his vehicle, he has no idea that the silent outdoor air is about to deliver a chilling response. Look closely. The moment the husband approaches the dark vehicle, a sharp, distinct human whistle pierces the early morning silence. This chilling auditory manifestation directly matches a comforting promise Lisa received from her late father, who vowed to signal his eternal presence whenever his daughter required guidance. Most people would assume the lone traveler simply made the noise himself. However, he later confirmed his total innocence regarding the mysterious outdoor audio. The unseen entity delivered this spectral sign with flawless clarity right as he departed, highlighting how vulnerable the oblivious family remains to watchful spirits. Did that protective dad actually send a message through the security system? Or is this a manufactured trick? The silent confines of an ordinary suburban backyard during the late evening hours usually project a deep sense of domestic safety. Cass had installed a digital security device on her property, intending to monitor the quiet lawn for any routine external disturbances while resting indoors. As she opens a sudden automated motion notification sent directly to her phone, she has no idea that the narrow gap between her two wooden garden sheds is about to reveal a chilling high-speed presence. Take a look. While the automated camera system focused on the dimly lit grass, a distinct shadow entity sprinted with incredible speed across the yard. This dark, peripheral manifestation clearly possessed a fluid humanoid silhouette, yet lacked any physical substance as it darted between the structures and instantly vanished into thin air. Most people would assume this was just a low-flying bird. However, the deliberate bipedal stride perfectly defies any natural light aberration. Cass watched the recording in total disbelief, completely exposed to an intelligent threat that breached her secure property line without leaving a single footprint behind. Did that dark mass actually run past those sheds? Or is this a manufactured illusion? From the blinking storefront mannequin watching Diego to the moving replica limb in Luke's bedroom, and finally the cascading objects answering Brian's presence, tonight's collection features genuinely unexplained footage. That wraps up this one for Pale Playback. Subscribe so you never miss an upload. And if you think what you just saw was unsettling, wait until you see what's on your screen right now.